Have you ever noticed that some people seem to grow happier as they age, while others become weighed down by stress? It might not be what you think, in fact. Sometimes the secret to a joyful old age isn't about doing more, it's about doing less. That's right. The lazier you are at certain things, the happier and more peaceful your life becomes. In this video, we're going to explore 5 things that, if you put in less effort, can actually bring you more happiness and fulfillment as you grow older. These insights may change the way you see your later years and help you embrace a life with fewer worries and more joy. Trust me, you won't want to miss the last one because it just might be the most liberating realization you'll ever have. So stay with me until the end, and let's uncover what truly makes life better as we age. Number 1, the lazier you are at worrying about others' opinions, the happier you are. When I was younger, I spent countless hours worrying about what others thought of me. I kept a careful eye on every word, every action, always mindful of how I might be perceived. But as I grew older, I discovered that those opinions were just background noise, fleeting and unimportant compared to the love and respect I had for myself. Imagine an older friend, Eleanor, who walks with a calm grace through her neighborhood. In her youth, Eleanor used to worry about fitting in, about dressing just right, and about pleasing everyone around her. But now she chooses comfort over conformity. She wears soft, worn-in sweaters, and her hair has a few silver strands that glimmer in the sunshine. Eleanor's choices are guided by what makes her happy rather than by the fear of judgment. She's free from the heavy burden of others' expectations and finds joy in being herself, unapologetically and wholly. Statistics show that by the time people reach their 70s, many report lower levels of stress related to social evaluation compared to younger age groups. In fact, a study by the American Psychological Association found that mature adults often experience a shift in priorities, focusing more on relationships and self-care rather than the opinions of strangers. Can you recall a time when you let go of the need to impress others and simply embraced who you are? What did that freedom feel like for you? As you reflect on this, remember that the journey to happiness in our later years often begins with the simple act of caring less about what others think. This isn't about being inconsiderate, it's about choosing to invest your energy in what truly enriches your life, your passions, your interests, and the quality time you spend with those who matter. Number 2, the lazier you are at forcing relationships, the happier you become. In our younger years, many of us believed that relationships required constant attention and effort, even if that effort sometimes left us feeling drained. We worked hard to maintain every friendship, to resolve every misunderstanding, and to fill every silence with meaningful conversation. But experience has a way of teaching us that not all relationships are meant to last, and that true connections, those deep, genuine bonds, naturally endure. Take the example of Harold, a warm-hearted retired teacher who always greeted his neighbors with a smile. For decades, Harold tried to stay in touch with everyone, planning gatherings and reaching out frequently. Yet as years went by, he learned that some people would drift away on their own. Rather than fighting to cling to every connection, Harold embraced the relationships that endured. The neighbor who always shared a cup of tea, the longtime friend who remembered his birthday, and the local librarian who exchanged kind words each time they crossed paths. Research has shown that having a few close, supportive relationships is more beneficial for well-being than having a large number of acquaintances. The quality of these connections directly contributes to lower stress levels, improved mental health, and overall life satisfaction. When we allow relationships to grow and evolve on their own, we create space for deeper, more meaningful connections. Letting go of the need to force relationships can be liberating, allowing us to invest our energy in the bonds that resonate with our hearts. In sharing these reflections, we honor what many consider the life lessons from the elderly, a gentle reminder that quality is far more valuable than quantity. If you're still here with me, type 2 in the comments to let me know you're finding this information helpful. Number 3, the lazier you are at trying to change others, the happier you are. Many of us have at one time or another felt the need to correct or guide our loved ones. Whether it was trying to help a friend overcome a bad habit, advising a family member on their health, or even gently nudging our spouse to try something new, we often fell into the trap of believing that we could change the people around us. However, as the years pass, we learn that true change comes from within. People change when they are ready and willing, not because we insist they must. Consider the gentle wisdom of Martha, who has been known in her community for her empathetic heart and her listening ear. Martha spent many years offering advice and solutions to those close to her. Yet, one day she realized that her constant efforts were met with resistance and frustration. Instead of pushing too hard, she began listening more and offering support without trying to impose her views. Eventually, her friends and family started coming to her for guidance, not because she was trying to change them, but because they admired her genuine understanding and patience. Studies indicate that the most effective way to inspire change is through leading by example, rather than direct intervention. When others see someone managing their own life with grace and resilience, they often feel inspired to reflect on their own behaviors without being told what to do. Is there a moment in your life when you realized that trying to change someone else's way of thinking was less effective than accepting them as they are? How did that realization change your interactions? Accepting that we cannot change others is a freeing act. It allows us to focus on what we can control: our actions, our responses, and our inner peace. This shift in mindset is one of the life lessons from the elderly that many cherish deeply. By relinquishing the need to steer others' destinies, we create room in our lives for empathy, understanding, and mutual respect. Number 4, the lazier you are at chasing after people who don't value you, the happier you become. In our youth, many of us believed that if we worked hard enough, we could make any relationship last, regardless of whether it was reciprocated. We often chased after people who seemed distant or indifferent, hoping that our persistence would somehow bridge the gap. But with time, we learn a valuable lesson. If you have to chase someone continuously, then perhaps that connection was never truly meant to be. Let's look at the example of Richard, a kind and generous soul who spent years reaching out to old friends and distant relatives. Richard always believed that if he simply put in enough effort, every relationship would flourish. Yet, as the years went by, he noticed that some people only reached out when they needed something or when they thought of him, never with genuine care. Slowly, Richard began to realize that his time and energy were better spent cherishing the people who actively chose to be in his life. By stepping back from those who didn't value his presence, he experienced a deep sense of relief and even joy in the newfound connections that blossomed naturally. Research highlights that meaningful relationships are characterized by mutual effort and genuine reciprocation. When one person consistently invests more than the other, the imbalance can lead to emotional exhaustion. Recognizing when to let go of one-sided relationships is key to preserving our emotional well-being and fostering connections that truly nourish the soul. Understanding the importance of valuing oneself and refusing to chase after those who do not reciprocate our care is a cornerstone of mature living. As we age, this insight becomes part of our personal narrative, the kind of life lessons from the elderly, passed on through quiet conversations and shared experiences. It teaches us to invest our energy where it matters most, and to celebrate the loving bonds that remain. If you're still here with me, type 4 in the comments to let me know you're finding this information helpful. Number 5. The lazier you are at trying to control everything, the happier you become. Life is unpredictable, and no matter how much we plan or try to manage our surroundings, there will always be events that slip beyond our grasp. In our younger days, we might have felt compelled to control every detail of our lives, our careers, our relationships, even the way others perceived us. But as we embrace the wisdom of our years, we come to understand that true freedom lies in accepting life's inherent unpredictability. Consider the story of Jean, who after decades of striving for perfection in every aspect of her life, discovered the beauty of letting go. Jean had always been known for her meticulous nature. She planned every family gathering down to the smallest detail and made sure every event went off without a hitch. However, when unexpected challenges arose, a sudden change in plans, a loved one falling ill, or even a simple error in scheduling, Jean would find herself overwhelmed with stress and frustration. Over time, with gentle reminders from friends and her own inner wisdom, Jean started to relinquish her tight grip on control. She learned to see the beauty in spontaneity and discovered that life's unexpected twists often brought moments of joy and surprise that she had never anticipated. Research supports this perspective. Studies have found that individuals who adopt a more flexible approach to life and learn to accept uncertainty tend to experience lower levels of anxiety and higher levels of overall satisfaction. In fact, psychological research suggests that resilience in older age is significantly linked to the ability to adapt and let go of rigid expectations. Can you remember a moment when letting go of the need to control every aspect of your life allowed you to experience a moment of unexpected joy or peace? How did that experience transform your perspective? The willingness to let go of excessive control opens the door to a more relaxed and fulfilling existence. In doing so, we also learn to trust that life has its own rhythm, and that every twist and turn is part of a larger, beautiful tapestry. One of the cherished life lessons from the elderly is realizing that true peace is found not in control, but in acceptance, allowing life to unfold as it naturally should. Final thoughts. At the end of the day, happiness in our later years isn't about doing more or pushing ourselves harder. It's about recognizing when to let go, when to slow down, and when to let life follow its natural rhythm. The less we worry, overcommit, or try to please everyone, the more room we create for peace and fulfillment. There is a special wisdom that only comes with time. A wisdom that teaches us that true happiness is not measured by what we add, but by what we gently remove from our lives. When we ease the weight of unnecessary stress, high expectations, and overwhelming obligations, we uncover the simple joys and quiet moments that truly matter. In those simple moments, we find joy in a cherished memory, comfort in familiar surroundings, and peace that isn't dependent on others' approval. So please take a moment and ask yourself, which burdens can you set aside? Are you still carrying responsibilities that no longer serve your well-being? Might it be time to step back, exhale, and allow yourself to relax just a little bit more? Thank you for joining today's gentle reflection. If these insights have resonated with you, I invite you to share one thing you have learned and how you plan to embrace these peaceful moments in your own life. Your thoughts mean so much, and they encourage us to keep creating content that informs, comforts, and inspires. If you found value in this video, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing it with others who might appreciate it. Your support enables us to continue sharing this caring journey together. Before we part, I'd like to leave you with a timeless proverb. Take time to rest. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. May these words remind you to embrace the beauty of a slow and gentle pace, and to treasure each moment as it comes.